move it, push it hard and catch you winner, Webby.
Today we're comparing the biggest American brand basketballs. We're comparing their signature composite leather basketball series against each other. For Spalding, this is their composite leather series, their signature series, and for Wilson, same thing. Now, just so you understand how and why I'm comparing these two specific basketballs is because this is the Wilson TF250. This series of basketballs on the spectrum of composite leather basketballs, meaning over here you have the rubber end of the composite leather spectrum. Basketballs that, if you didn't know they were composite leather, you would just think that the basketball was straight up genuine leather. On that spectrum, the Spalding TF series of basketballs are engineered to be more towards the leather end of that composite leather spectrum, whereas the Wilson Forge series are meant to be more towards the rubber end of that spectrum. So when we talk about this basketball specifically, this is the Wilson Forge Plus UV. According to Wilson, this is the highest level basketball in their series. Remember, this series is on the rubber end of the spectrum. On the Spalding TF series, this basketball is considered the lowest tier in that series. Only, not because it's a bad quality basketball or anything like that, it's only because since this series is more towards the leather end of the spectrum, this basketball is the basketball that's considered the closest towards the rubber end of that spectrum. So the Wilson basketball is the basketball that's most towards the middle in terms of the composite leather spectrum, just like this basketball is considered the closest towards the middle of that composite leather spectrum. That's why I'm comparing these basketballs against each other, because this is the basketball that's the most leather feeling basketball that's on the rubber end of the spectrum, and this is the most rubber feeling basketball in a series of basketballs that is supposed to be on the leather end of that composite leather spectrum. So since this is the most leathery feeling basketball and this is the most rubbery feeling basketball, they pretty much line up right next to each other in the very middle of that composite leather spectrum. That's why they're apt to be compared to each other, especially considering they are the basketballs in the middle of the signature series of both companies. Now, just something for you to keep in mind as you watch me review these basketballs and rate them. I'm an outdoor basketball player, so I prefer basketballs that are feel conducive to outdoor play. For me, that means basketballs that are more rubbery, that feel more grippy and tacky on my fingertips. I'm only 5'8". I don't have huge hands, so because of that, I like basketballs that when they're on my hands, on my fingertips, feel kind of rubbery and tacky. I need more control because my hands are not huge. I like basketballs that feel more tacky and grippy on my fingertips. For you, it may be different. For me, I like rubbery feeling basketball. That being said, when we get into my 5 criteria for breaking down basketballs, the first would be the material that the basketball is made out of. Now, these are obviously both composite leather basketballs. And you need to keep in mind that just because, according to Spalding, this is like the lowest tier TF basketball they have, it doesn't mean that it's a poor quality, low quality basketball. It just means that because the TF series is meant to be more towards the leather end of the composite leather spectrum, this ball is considered the most rubbery out of the TF series.